I thought I was invisible. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. I am sorry for the delay. Had a lot of processing going on through my mind. I know that I am not monetized, but I'm going to have to be very careful. I know about some words I used. I don't know if I'm going to have to be careful if I'm not monetized. I don't know. But tonight it's an important subject matter. We all know that it came out that Gabby Petito, the cause of her passing was due to strangulation, throttling. That's exactly how the medical examiner put it. Throttling. We know what that means. And we know, even though she was unconscious within so many seconds, within a time frame, depending on how she was struggling, that it takes anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes to actually take someone's life doing that. It's true. Because of the length and pressures that you have to use. Um, so that is a very intentional, where you can change your mind, crime of passion, and they call it a crime of passion because of the length of time it takes, and because usually a person has emotion invested in the other person, even if maybe the person loves them from a distance and the victim doesn't happen to know that person. The one doing the deed has some kind of emotion wrapped up in that person. Anyway, before we go further, it's going to be more than just about Gabby. Let's just say that. So, trigger warning. And I am going to get very transparent, let's just say. Not to a raw degree, but I'm going to be sharing about my own life as well. So, I want to welcome all of you here. Paranormal Witch, Arsony, of course, Arsony. I'm going to ruin your name again. Pasakov, Pasakov, Marie Crum, of course. Welcome all of you into the chat. Anybody else? Busy Blue. Okay, I don't have to be careful. I can say those words. Good. Welcome, Mr. Busy. Sea Cruise. I just feel like I'm not trying to take away from or do anything to hurt Gabby. I want Gabby. I want to see the day that they focus on more of who Gabby was. You know that I don't believe that this is a skin suit and the real soul of who we are is the actual soul, spirit. You all know that. I know that this is basically the vehicle, right? I want to know more about who she was as a person. We don't know a whole lot about her. That's the part that breaks my heart. Honestly, the fact that Where's Waldo is running around somewhere or not, and so many millions of dollars are being spent, and all this time all over the world and all over the United States is so hard focused on this, is really bothering me. It's really, really bothering me. So many people are surmising this and that and the other. I have my own feelings about him in general, which I'm not going to talk about. Insofar as the details of him and where he may or may not be, etc., etc. I mean, I may say a little bit about him, but all of the breakdown of this and that and the other. We all know, in my opinion, he did it. and that he flipped out and did it, and that he is on the run, in my opinion. I mean, come on, that's common sense. And I say on the run. Um, but be that as it may, it's a tragedy. It is a tragedy. And playing all the videos of before and what ifs, and I mean, it's happened. And it's heart wrenching. And there are so many people all over the world, and definitely all over the United States. And some people may be listening in the bushes now, that may be in a similar situation. And it's not delegated just to females. It does happen to males too. Maybe not as often, but it does happen to males as well. And it doesn't just happen physically. It happens mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. It can tear a person down so much that they become a shell of themselves. And you ultimately do not know what happens. And it can happen so hard that ultimately the pattern leads there over years. And to be honest, I'm lucky I'm here. You can be well educated and somebody that's a psychotherapist and end up in that situation too. And once upon a time, I was there. And it was scary. You can be a smart person and get your head twisted to where you know you're in that situation. And you realize you're in that situation. And it becomes so dangerous because it's gone so far that you don't know how you're going to get out safely. And people will say, well, why didn't they just leave? But to be honest, by the time you are ready and you've got your stuff, your eggs in a row, and the signs are there that you're getting ready to leave, that is the time when your life is in the most danger sometimes. So you have to be really careful. You have to be very smart and get good support. You have to be very smart. Or you have to be stupid and brave. And ultimately, I got stupid and brave. And I'll tell you a little bit about that story in a minute. But it is doable. And when you have friends that you see in that situation, I'll tell you, you can't just say, oh, can't you see? You need to get out. Because guess what? Sometimes the more you push, the more they resist. And it's the truth. The more you push sometimes, the more they resist. Because they don't want to admit they're wrong. And sometimes shame comes into play. And sometimes there's such a degree of time in between episodes that it's not that clear. Maybe 9 months will come between episodes. So it doesn't seem like that. You get what I'm saying? So does it really seem like abuse when there's 9 months in between? It seems like an episode. It's not clear that it's abuse. See what everybody's saying. Who is in here? I'm clicking everywhere. Was a Bobby in here? And you have to forgive me. Oh, thank you, Bobby. Um, I was having an MS episode last couple of days. My eyes, even with my glasses, are not the best tonight. So things are a little wonky for me. So even with my glasses, they do not want to work. Hello, Mockingbird. Welcome. Let me pull it up. Strangulation is not a crime of passion. It takes a lot of time to strangle someone to death. Look how calm he is in front of the cops. He did not lose control. Wait a minute. And you're saying that's BS. Let me back up with you for a minute. When it's called a crime of passion, it's because he was in a relationship with her. For him to get that upset to strangle her, typically we would call that. And when you're saying that he was calm in front of the cops, initially, if you go back to the beginning of the videos when they first pulled him over and he was all little floundery and stuff and saying he did not have time to explain his behaviors, and he was all trying to listen to what she was saying to the other cop, he was not cool as a cucumber then when they first pulled him over. No, Mockingbird, that is not true. He did not get cool until he started to realize that she wasn't saying anything to put him as the one that was the aggressor. And they were starting to point fingers at her. So I would digress if I was you and go back and take a look. Just saying. Hello, Shelly Marie. No, he was not aggressive or violent toward the cops under stress. That would be a dumbass move, don't you think? Because then they take him to jail. Would you do that? Say you would end up at jail? I would not. Abusive men don't lose control. They enjoy what they do. You are full of BS. They do lose control. Sorry. Abusive men do lose control. I do not know how many abusive men you've been around. Hey, Levon. The man is a freak, and I can't wait till he gets arrested. Oh, yeah, 100% he ran for a reason. He ran for a reason. And unfortunately, I think that his mom and dad are probably going to not get popped on the wrist. I mean, I would be surprised. Thank you for the healing vibes, you guys. Mockingbird, I don't know who you are, but I think you're trying to come in here and troll. Are DB experts full of BS? Because that's what experts say. Well, I think I would be considered somewhat of an expert in my field, and I have also experienced it. So, Are you an expert, Mockingbird? Are you a DV expert? What is your background? I mean, I appreciate your input. Have you been in a domestic violence situation? Mockingbird, if you have, I'm very sorry. But if you're coming in here just to kick dirt and argue, I mean, I really want to hear your experience. If you're having experiences, if you want to have input, that's great. But if you're just coming in here to argue, I don't want to hear it. You know, I understand. I know they love their I mean, he's their kid, and it has to be horrifying for him. But by the same token, they need to step up and say something. Lundy Bancraft. Why does he do that? Great book for people interested in understanding domestic violence and not letting. I don't want abusers off the hook. And I'm sure it has to be a great read, and I'll look into it. But, I mean, there's multiple opinions, and, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people that do it, that do domestic violence, do enjoy it to a large degree. I do not disagree with you, but they also do lose their cool. There's a lot of them that do lose their cool. All are not sliced the same way. If they get challenged, they will lose their cool. Because many of them are narcissistic and they like to be right. I mean, just take a look at him losing his cool in the restaurant from reports. I mean, from reports, he went in again and again and again and went off on the server, the manager, and multiple people repeatedly in that restaurant, to the point of her going back in and apologizing. So he was losing it. And until we get all the details about why he finally lost it, I mean, you're talking about someone, they've been in a relationship since high school. So you have to wonder, I mean, I'm sure living in a van is not helpful, being that tight for, a couple of months. But we don't have all the final details. But I also want to be respectful and helpful to those out there that may be in situations of domestic violence and not realizing that maybe they're in a pattern. You know what I'm saying? Because there's variants of it. You can be, look, I watched a movie the other day, and it's on Netflix now, called The Maid. She's young. She got in a relationship. I won't tell you the whole movie. And she got pregnant. He didn't want it. She had it anyway. She ends up in a relationship with him, drinking, punching holes in the wall. And it was emotional abuse, consistent, to where it felt like a lot of just on the edge of, it felt like she was going to get hit all the time, or hit in the head with broken glass, or the glass coming toward the baby, although she never got hit. That is a form of abuse. Put you on edge and put you on stress. It can give you PTSD. But she never got physically hit. That is a form of abuse. Many people don't realize that. And if you're experiencing it day after day after day after day after day, what do you think it does to your psyche? But she never got physically hit. Process that for a minute. Do you think that helps your mental health? What do you think it does to your spirit? Do you think it makes you feel like you have value? She didn't have any access to the checking account. Half the time she didn't have any availability to the car. But he wasn't hitting her. Think on that for a second. And while you do, let me drop that intro before I forget. And please like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys. Thank you for being here while I'm talking about it. But let me slow down the intro. Thank you for being here at Dear Dana. And here we go. Boop. Okay, we're back. But I want everybody to realize it's not only about physical stuff. It's not only about that. I've seen when they pulled the cars over. They got the 2 phone calls. Yeah, emotional can be worse because it's so deep in your psyche. Sometimes you can get over the physical quicker, unless this happened like with Brian and them. But emotional, physical's not good either. None of it's good. None of it's good. Let's be honest here. None of it's good. And we can all be guilty of sticking it in somebody at times if you're mad enough. If you look back at your behavior, right? Everybody gets in tiffs. Sometimes you say things you don't want to say. I try real careful. I try really hard not to. But I have said things before I didn't want to, but I try really hard not to. Because words hurt. Yes, RC, hurt people hurt other people. We've heard those things before. And I've said this before. Whoever said that little phrase when you were a kid, I used to hear it all the time. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but words can never hurt you. BS. BS. Sometimes words hurt worse. Sometimes words can break a kid. Sometimes words can break a kid. Break a kid's spirit. Right? And you have to build yourself up from the ground. But that being said, when the cops pulled her over, she said she couldn't be alone. She needed to be with him. There go the trauma bonds, right? And I read something earlier, an interview from a couple of their friends from high school and stuff. They said, in high school, hey, Marie Crum, when they were together, that they were so close, and it was one of those relationships where people were like, envious of them, right? Why couldn't they have a relationship like that? But when it was bad, it was bad. When it was bad, it was bad. And people would say, why don't you just break up and get it over with? And we've all seen those. We've seen them in high school where they were the couple and they'd break up and you'd be like, oh, here they go again. So they have that history and it's extended, right? So you think about, you've known somebody that long. So there's some level of trust there that it's never going to go that far. And it's going to, okay, we fought, and there's that pattern of we fought and we're going to make up again. Yeah, maybe past life ties. Who knows, right? It could be. We fought, we're going to make up again. And it could have been that he was out of control from the restaurant and they took it out of the restaurant and it continued thereafter. Who knows? But the point is, how can we stop this from continuing? I got connected. I call him Doofius now because I don't like to say his name. And he really wasn't my type, so to speak. And he was older than me. And I met him at a theme park I worked at. And he'd been married before. and he was working security of all things, right? Security. He's a theme park cop. And I would see him walk his little boy in the park sometimes when he was off, real little. And he was think, oh, he looks like a great dad. And he kept asking me out, I turn him down. He'd ask me out, I turn him down. He'd ask me out, I turn him down. And I was young, I didn't want that responsibility. And I finally uh, gave in. I think I had won tickets to movies or something at the last minute. So he went all out trying to be the gentleman of back when, opening the door and all of this stuff. I don't know if I had tickets or he had tickets. So he was going, nobody's asking me out now. I'm busy. It was the person I divorced that was abusive. But I kept turning him down and turning him down and turning him down and turning him down. And I finally went out with him, so I turned him down so much he was going over and beyond to be like the gentleman of the gentleman of the gentleman. And he'd gone so over and beyond that I was like more impressed than I should have been, right? And me being a little weird, different, he just kept going over and beyond. Love you too. Okay. That I just kind of got caught up in the cycle of seeing him. And when I introduced him to my mom, she didn't like him. She didn't like many people that I would see. And she sure didn't like the fact that he'd been married before. She didn't want him seeing me, but I worked a couple of jobs. I worked at I was going to college, and I worked at a theme park, Six Flags. And I also waitressed, and I also went to college. So when I'd waitress, he'd go to where a waitress would bring me flowers and stuff like that. So here we go. And he kept trying to win me over. So he would win me over, and next thing I know, we end up a thing. Thank you, busy. Love you. And time goes on, and we're married. Next thing I know, he's isolating me. I move out to where I can go to college, but he ends up isolating me further and further to where I'm out in farmland, away from family, away from friends. My neighbors were cows. And he goes out on the road with all of these famous people. Prince, Ozzy Osbourne, he went out on the road with, what's her name? I can't remember her name. Mariah Carey, a bunch of them, all of them. He'd go on the road with them. He'd be gone a long time. He'd come back. Out on the road, come back. He ends up on drugs. Anyway, he'd be nice for a little while. I didn't know he was doing them. I'd never see him. It wasn't drugs, because he would have moments of violence, try to control me. I'd make a dinner. He'd be mad at me. He'd throw the dinner in the trash. He got mad at me one time. The dog peed on the floor. He choked my dog. He kicked my dog. Collapsed my dog's lung. We were first married. He got mad, grabbed my purse, broke my ring finger. See this? It's permanent. It was broken in a spiral break. Woke up the next day, didn't know what I wanted to do, didn't want to tell my parents, humiliated. Um, go to the ER. They realized it was a severe break. It's called a spiral break. I had surgery. It was a severe surgery. Ligaments and stuff were torn. I had a cast up to here, right? I had this thing, it looked like a marionette puppet, right? And it was like that for a while. And they take it out and they realize they have to do surgery all the way down my hand. I had to learn how to write and everything again. I had to learn how to use my whole hand. I had to go to therapy for a year. Um, then the therapist, not paying attention, re-breaks it. And then I have to have 2 more operations and go to therapy for a year again. So when he gets mad again, I forgot why he got so mad one time. He picks me up against the wall and chokes me out until I start to pass out, like she got choked. But I didn't die. So he's thrown me over. He threw me over a marble table so hard it broke it, and I'm pretty sure I had a concussion. And I didn't tell people because I was terrified of him. And it would be long periods of time apart. So long that I would make excuses. That I would make excuses. And I had seen things in my life where other people didn't tell. And something in me was like, well, this just happens. And I was educated, and I'd gone to college, and I was finishing my graduate studies while I was married to him, and found out I couldn't have children, and was trying to make myself a better life while I was married to him, trying to figure out how I was going to get out of this marriage, trying to make some kind of plans in my head, knowing I couldn't go home, really. I knew I really couldn't go home. I mean, my mom and dad said I could, but I really couldn't go home. Knew I made a mistake. Knew my mom was really basically right. Right for the wrong reasons. Mad at myself, humiliated. Didn't know what was going to happen when I tried to leave. And then, I know I've told you all before that during my graduate studies, I was out in the courtyard and something said, a child is coming. This is not a joke. And I thought I was crazy. And I heard it again. And I realized I was getting a message. And it was just the weirdest thing. And I heard he will be special. And I was like, I don't care if he has Down syndrome. I'll love him anyway. And I kept, I know this sounds crazy, but it is true. And I was like, can you please at least wait until I get my master's degree? And I conceived him the night I got that degree. And I'm telling you, it's all the truth. And when I was delivering Noah early, he came early, and that's the child I lost 4 years ago. This was, years and years ago, that when I was literally delivering Noah, I knew in my head somewhere I would be leaving Dufius not long after. And it was having Noah that actually gave me the bravery to leave Dufius, because I knew I was not going to raise that baby in that environment. Period. 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 So while he was a baby, Dufius came back literally from Ozzy Osbourne on the road and had gone to a party and drank too much. And Noah had special medical needs, and I got him to sleep. I get a phone call in the middle of the night, which had never happened, never in the marriage. And I just had a gut look. Always knew things were going to happen, and I had warned him about some things happening to him. And he used to call me a brain stalker. So yeah, thank you gifts. Thank you gifts now. But I got a phone call in the middle of the night that he was in jail for DUI. And would I come bail him out? And I said no. I wasn't going to come bail him out. That bail bondsman tried to make me feel guilty. What? I said, no, sir, I'm not going to bail him out. I have a newborn baby. He has special medical needs. I just got him down. He can sleep it off in the jail. Thank you. I get another call to come pick him up, and I said no. I knew Dufius was going to be mad as hell that I left him in jail. I didn't care. I was scared. Part of me was scared, but most of me was mad and defiant at that point. And I said, I'm not going to come pick him up. He can wait it out. Trying to make me feel guilty about leaving him in jail. So after the time period was up, when I got Noah together, I went and got him. He was mad as hell. I didn't care how mad he got. He was calling his friend, and I said, I think that you need to get out because we need a separation. And that was the beginning of the end. And I had my grandfather come to where we lived and change the doors on my house, the whole doors. The doors and the locks and the everything on the whole house. So he couldn't get in that house. He might break the windows, but he couldn't get in that house. And then I prefabbed my own legal separation and went and had, I tricked him into signing it and went and had a friend of mine that had a notary stamp that thing. The story could go on, but yeah, it took me having my baby to get the balls to get out of that. That's my story. I mean, it could get more detailed and gorier, but yeah, that's the cusp of my story anyway. Ugh. And you can ask me questions if you want, and I'll throw down the link. But people have to know it comes in all shapes and sizes. It comes in all shapes and sizes. I have hid. He did things where it was hidden, where people couldn't see. Hey, Adam. Hey, Shoeless One. My child gave me the strength to leave. I knew it was going to be hard because my child had a feeding tube. My child had a monitor. He had special needs that I knew I was going to have to learn about and do this thing on my own. I was scared to death about that. I didn't know how I was going to do everything, but at that point, doing that by myself and being scared that way was a lot better than raising him dealing with that. And I'm going to go back and read the chat. I was trying to remember things, so please forgive me. Honey, Willow, you saved you, babe. I didn't save you, Willow. Willow, you give me too much credit, baby. He went psycho on me a lot. Let me put it that way. He went psycho on me a lot. I made the mistake one time that I picked up, you know, those big coat racks that have the arms on the top. I picked it up and went after him with it down the hall because I couldn't take it anymore. I have him blocked on all social media. When I lost Noah, after not hearing from them for so many years, because he gave up his rights to Noah, which I would never let him take Noah for a visit because he never learned how to take care of him. I gave him the opportunity to get cleaned up in order to see him. He finally turned around and married a woman with money that was older than him. I know it was, I don't know her, but I feel like she's a good person. But he gave up his rights to Noah so he wouldn't have to pay anything. So when Noah passed away 4 years ago, all of a sudden, he and members of his family are trying to social media bomb me and try to find ways to contact me. There was no way I was going to let him come to Noah's celebration of life after nobody had tried to reach out. No. I couldn't do it. I am still in connection with his son. I call him my bonus son. I was too young to be his mom, really. Biologically, maybe not, but we're still close. So we still have a bond. But other than that, no way. I can't even. Too many bad things. I don't want him anywhere. I can't. Just bad, bad, bad. But I had to share. I had to share parts of it to let you know. If you're listening to me, even if you're in the chat, if you're out there listening to me, it happens to the best of us. In my gut, I felt things and brushed them off because he was showing me all the good signs. I did not pay attention to my gut instinct, even though I knew I should. Your gut instinct is where you should listen always. Always. That is where you're going to get the truth, always. People that seem good, maybe they came from a traumatic place. Maybe they saw bad things. Maybe they have mental health problems they did not get help with, right? But people that have the tendency to want to be abusers typically have jealousy issues, controlling behavior. They will get involved with you quickly, or like he did, jump to do all the right things to swoop you in hard. A love bomb you is what I call it. It can be a guy or a girl. They will have unrealistic expectations of you. Like, If you love me, I'm all you need. And you are all I need. Like, you're supposed to take care of each other's emotional needs all the time and you don't need anybody else. They'll try to isolate you from your family, from your friends. Like, try to cut you off from people. And a lot of times it happens so slowly that you don't even realize it's happening, especially when you're young. They will blame others a lot for their problems. Like if they lose their job, it's somebody else's problem. If they get in a fight, it's somebody else's problem. If you get in a fight with them, it's your problem, it's not them, right? They blame other people for their feelings. Like, you made them mad, you hurt their feelings. They can't help being angry. That you made the food wrong. That's not like they don't like to taste it like that. It's your fault it tastes bad. They're hypersensitive to everything. They're easily insulted. You may be trying to help them, and you can say something in the most gentle way, and they'll twist it and say that you were hurting them with your words. And you called them X, Y, and Z when you never did. And you're like, what? I mean, it's gaslighting, basically. And you're going, what the hell just happened? To the point that you get so confused that you have to like replay it in your head, and you start to believe it is your fault. And that's where it gets really messed up. That even if you're an intelligent person, you begin to believe it's your fault because you are gaslighted so hard all the time. They can be cruel to your pets or children. And I was not taking that chance, baby. I was not taking that chance. Look, he gave me a pet pig that I never asked for. I didn't want no damn pig. Sorry for my language. I love all animals. I love all animals. He gave me a pet pig one year. And it was a potbelly pig. That thing grew too big. That's not the point. I had a little dog, and he brought me a potbelly pig I didn't ask for. And that thing was a lot of work. It was cute, but it was a lot of work. It got too big, but as it was getting big, that pig did not like him. That pig bit him, thank God, but it didn't like him. He picked the pig up and tried to strangle the pig against the wall. And I was like, you are not hurting that pig. So I had the pig. The Six Flags had a cute animal show. They took very good care of the animals. So I took the pig to the animal show because I was not going to have him harm the pig. The pig's name was Priscilla. So he would do things like anything that you cared about, he was going to hurt it. No. There was a big band out. I can't remember the name of the band at the time. There was a big band out. And one of the guys in the band, I mean, they had a record and everything, was attracted to me. I don't know if we were married yet. I think we were engaged or just married. Maybe we were engaged. But one of the guys in the band, and this was literally a band that had an album out, was attracted to me. And he was going to let him basically borrow me for the night. I was like, What's wrong with you? Red flags, people. And then he tried to blow it off like it was just I should be flattered. I should be flattered. And then he tried to blow it off like it was a joke. It is abuse. It's abuse. No, he wasn't going to kill it. He was choking it because it bit him. I don't think he was going to kill it, but he was trying to punish it. I cannot believe I ever had anything to do with this person. But I'm telling you, he was not like this in front of people. Not like this in front of people in general, ever. He was not. People, co-workers, loved him. Loved him. He would excel at his work. They could put on a mask. They can put on a mask in a heartbeat. To the point where you feel, and this is where I feel for Gabby, where you feel if you try to go to people and tell them this is what's going on, and I feel like this is part of why I got triggered about something recently, where you tell them this is what's going on, that they're not going to believe you. You get me? Where if you tell people this is what's going on, they are not going to believe you. I had to have marks around my neck, fingerprints, bruises and fingerprints around my neck, till I got brave enough to tell someone that was a good friend of mine that was like a second mom. I had to have fingerprints around my neck till I finally got brave enough to go tell somebody. Because he was so good at being different around other people. It can be terrifying. Me too, Levon. I am a lover of nature, animals, people, babies, old people. I mean, listen to me say old people. I'm 100 years old. But you know what I'm saying. Yeah, animals are innocent. But that's why there's so much shame and embarrassment involved. And when you think about it, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, there's so much more to it. There's so much more to it. And when I see her with those cops and see him where at first he was like, I don't have time to explain my behavior right now. And he's fidgeting and he's trying to hear what she's saying to the other cop. Knowing somebody had to call because they saw him slapping her. Knowing somebody saw. And then she finally fesses up that he slapped her, right? And it's obvious what's going on and she doesn't want to report it. Obvious. And it makes my blood boil. And now it's too late. And if I had to go back in time knowing what I know now, would I have put up with all of that? Look, I would not change the fact that Noah is one of the best things that happened in my life ever. And maybe on a spiritual level, not maybe, I probably had to go through all of that to get him. Because so much good has happened in my life because I had Noah. Bar none. My heart still aches to the core, to the core. That he is not here with me. Understand? But if I can help put the word out there that you don't have to go through this, you don't have to be alone, you don't have to be ashamed, other people are going through it, you can put your hand out there. Like, you can DM me if you need a way or need advice on how to reach out. In every state, there is a place you can reach out to for domestic violence. I have listed some places you can reach out to below this channel for agencies for domestic violence. I have also put listings down if you don't want to go to a therapist and you want to get therapy online as a regular. Now, look, I'm not in brick and mortar practicing as a therapist. I don't want you to get your therapy on YouTube. Okay? I can help people privately. I'm not on YouTube trying to do therapy for you. I hope you understand that. I give advice on here. I hope to educate people on here. But when you're listening to people on YouTube, please understand that's not therapy. I want people to understand that. Shelly says, one of my best friends has a sibling of those kids, and I'm reminded often of them, unfortunately. Oh. I'm popping things up so I can see them. Noah was your guardian angel sent to save you, Dana. Yes, I do believe that. Because he has also saved my ability to walk, to be honest. Adam says, the boyfriend's parents definitely have to know something and are probably hiding him and are probably also involved. On some level, look, I saw something today. They had booked a campsite for 2 people prior to Brian driving back to Florida. And prior to him arriving in Florida, they changed that campsite to 3 people. Prior to him arriving in Florida, they changed the campsite to 3 people. They changed it to 3 people. Oh, by the way, I want to let you guys know, I've been playing around with the Patreon thing. I set up one. I don't know how I feel about it right now. I don't know how I feel about it yet. All the tiers things and stuff like that. I'll have to look at it more. I do have a Dear Dana Facebook page. I may consider privatizing a Facebook page to do classes and stuff like that on. I don't know. I may consider doing that. And just doing, I can't think tonight. This is such a heavy topic. I didn't want to do it heavy, but I really want to put the word out for people dealing with domestic violence and letting them know they're not alone, that they can reach out, that there are numbers they can call. And before I get on and on and on, but I want to let people know I am going to be making myself available to people for different kinds of sessions for love donations. And maybe we'll do it on a privatized Facebook channel. Facebook page. I'm not sure. Excuse my foggy brain tonight. Like I said, last 2 or 3 days with MS has kicked my butt a little bit. I'm sure you can tell the difference in me some days versus others. I'm sure you can tell the difference. But look, I'm going to be real on here. And if it's too bad for me to come on here, I'll let you know. But I'm trying to make myself available and just be real with you guys because we are a community. We are a family. And like I said, your vibe attracts your tribe. And if I can't be loving and real on here with you guys, then what? Right? Then I feel like you can't be loving and real with me on here either. So there you go. I did want to say too, with domestic violence, we need to let people know if someone is going to do things like not talk to you repeatedly when they're mad to get their way, that's a form of abuse. Did you know that? If they do things to manipulate you to get their way repeatedly, it's a form of abuse. I'm not talking about sometimes when we do things, just because we're fighting as a cliquey thing. I'm talking about when people do things to change who you are and it makes you feel bad consistently. Do you understand what I'm talking about? If you're in a relationship and someone is doing something to you that makes you feel less than, that makes you feel bad consistently because you are not being what they want you to be, it is a form of abuse. Get out. That is not healthy. That is not loving. That does not promote growth. Get out. All relationships are work. Marriage is work. But they should be more like a friendship. You're not always going to get along. You're not always going to want to be around each other. That's like anything. But it should be more like you support each other, your family, you love and care about each other. Maybe there's days you don't want to be around each other, but if you need each other, you know you're going to be each other's ride or die, right? And you would support growth in each other, uplift each other. But if you dread being around them, if you feel a heaviness, if they don't support you, they try to manipulate you, control you, they want your everything to do with your phone, want to know every bit of money you got, everything you spend, all about your friends, where you're going every moment, don't want you to do this and that and the other, that is abuse. There are different forms. If they're killing your spirit, that's abuse. Get out. If you're trying to help a friend and you're always hammering them to get out, it's going to backfire. You have to let your friend know you love them and they can always talk to you. And if they're having a bad time and they open up to you, just create a code with your friend. So if they say that word, you'll know it's not safe to talk. Create a code. And if that friend's not open to hearing what you have to say about it being an abusive situation, maybe sometime you can say, why don't you watch this movie if it's about something that you think they need to open their eyes to. Or you can talk about a fake situation with another friend or something you read in the paper having to do with a similar situation like your friend's in. You have to read the room. You have to read the room. And you have to know your friend. And you have to walk gently sometimes. Because if you push too hard with a certain personality, they may resist or run. Your friend has to have a plan. If your friend's open and she knows she needs to get out, she slowly has to have a plan, like saving money. Keep putting money away. Put her license or a copy of her birth certificate, an extra set of keys, etc., etc., her kids' birth certificates, extra pairs of clothes, all put somewhere to have a getaway plan, to set up a place to go, even if it's a shelter. She needs to have a plan to start saving. So when she gets out, it's not so frantic. And sometimes it takes more than one try. Sometimes it takes more than one try. And if she doesn't have a car, she needs to have one or two people that she can count on, that even if it's in the middle of the night, she can go, hey, come get me. Or maybe that person already has her backup clothes or backup this or backup that. But sometimes that friend or the person that loves her has to be patient and has to know it may take more than one try. It's not easy. And it runs deeper. And the people say, well, she's stupid. Like someone said about Gabby recently that I know. Well, she's stupid. She doesn't have kids. She's not married. She should have taken that truck and run. With trauma bonds and the mind melds that can go on, it's not always that easy. It's not always that easy. You've seen, look, think back to high school. They're not that far from high school. The mind, if you know what's that go on. Right? Think about it. The mind mess that goes on. They think they need each other. They think they can't live with each other. Maybe he's beat down her self-confidence. Maybe she believes it. And maybe he's insecure. And maybe she's insecure and thinks she can't live without him. Maybe she's too scared to do all of this on her own. Who knows? Maybe. Humans are complex. And their emotions are all over the place. Sometimes emotions are more complex than anything. We have to serve grace, like I talked about before. We have to serve grace. We have to be willing to be patient with those friends or people that we know that it takes a few times. They have to get their nerve up. And they might be scared that they end up in Gabby's position. They may know that they need to get out. But they may think, this might be the time. I don't think Gabby thought this was going to be the time. I don't know. I'd like to know some of your thoughts, or if you have ever been in this situation. I have. Adam says, Dear Dana, you do an amazing, incredible, awesome job with your channel, as well as I can't talk, as well as the topics and other things always. And thanks for all the. You are always so sweet to me. Thank you, Adam. You are always so sweet to me. I appreciate you so much. And by the way, how is your fiance doing? I appreciate everyone that's popped on tonight. You know what? I know it's so deeply tragic and everything, and there's so much coverage of it everywhere. I hesitated to pop it up. But, once upon a time, think back, even 30 years ago, and even before that, 50 years ago, you would have never heard of anybody reporting domestic violence. You would have never heard anybody reporting domestic violence. It was yeah, it's probably 1 to 2% of the whole world that doesn't believe it's Brian's fault. Come on, he ran. If it wasn't his fault, he would have been crying and calling the cops. He wouldn't have gone home to mom and dad and gone camping and then run. It's 100% his fault, in my opinion. Oh, thank you, Marie Crumb. I love all of you so much. I really from my heart do. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry about that. But yeah, 30, 50 years ago, it was so common for husbands to think they could just smack. And I'm not saying all of them did it, but I think it was pretty common for husbands or men to think they could just smack their wives around or smack their women around and set them in their place. Truly. And the women weren't supposed to say anything. I think they kind of expected it. Because second-class citizens, especially before they got to vote. And honestly, we still aren't quite where we need to be in the world. Women, that is. Still not quite there. We're still struggling for our place. Let's be honest. Well, that's true, early 19 and 1800s. But listen, even my grandma, even my mom to some extent, and she wasn't born then. What does that say? Arseny? Please put your videos on BitChute and Odyssey, no censorship. I've never heard of those. I've never heard of those before. Do they have monetization on there, Arseny? I've never heard of BitChute and Odyssey. I'll have to check them out. I mean, I'm not monetized here, but I'm hoping one day. But do they, I'll have to check out those places. Are they new? BitChute and Odyssey. Do they play all over the world or what? I've never heard of them. I need to write that down. You know how my brain goes, whoop. Oh, I don't see my video now. What did I do to myself? Oh, there I go. BitChute and Odyssey. And I'm definitely not saying that men don't experience any of it, but, it's just not as common. It does happen, though. I don't want to insult any men out there. And, I hesitated to tell some of what went on with me. And he would say, that didn't happen, when I would say stuff to him about X and Y and Z. That didn't happen. Try to make me think certain things didn't happen. Oh, you can earn cryptos? I'll have to check it out. So, do you spend much time over there, Arsony? I mean, are there a lot of people that watch? Let's see what this is. My mother told us horrible stories about what her dad did to his kids when drunk. She was not going to repeat those patterns for nothing. Gotcha. And you know what, too? Going through some of those things, my poor husband, I did everything but run him off. I'm not kidding. Because I was like, I'm not going to deal with another guy. I wanted control over everything. And that's another thing. People trying to blame alcohol. Well, if they weren't drinking, they wouldn't act like that. If they weren't doing drugs, they wouldn't act like that. I have seen some people that drink that don't do those things to people. That really isn't an excuse. In my opinion, that is no excuse. Oh, because they drank, they're violent. Go away. Get out of their life. They need help. I don't care. I don't care. Get out of their life. I don't care. You deserve better. Get yourself some help from dealing with the abuse. Get some therapy. Get somewhere where you're supported, where you can get your mind clear again from what you've had to deal with. Know that you deserve better, right? Undo the webs, the cobwebs that you have been in from the trauma, and take responsibility from some of your own stuff. Because yes, you need to take some responsibility from some of your own stuff. I'm not saying from being abusive, but some of your own decisions. And get on with your life to live a good life. Right? Because we all have to take responsibility for our own decisions, for stinking thinking. Maybe it's ways we've thought about ourselves, decisions we've made, doors that were open we didn't walk out of, etc., etc. Like, everybody can benefit from therapy. Psychotherapists have to go to therapy before they see clients. We have to do our own work on ourselves before we see clients so we don't project our crap onto other people. And look, there are times that I get triggered or have anxiety, and I have to still do work on myself. I am human. I am very spiritual. I am a soul, but I'm still human. We all have to work on ourselves consistently. We do. But back to dealing with this kind of stuff. If you have a friend, a daughter, right? A son, anybody in your life, if it's you, be aware when you're around people with this kind of behavior. You can be in a relationship with a friend that's got this kind of behavior. Don't accept it. If they've got you jumping through hoops in order to be their friend, if they try to punish you about stuff that's ridiculous, you don't need it. You don't need it. Back the truck up, Jack. You don't need it. Marie says, I agree too. My mom and dad never drank because of what they grew up with. And you've got so many people that grew up with it or experienced it, and they try to minimize it. Like, parents or families or whatever, they try to minimize it, change history, change what actually happened, make it better than it was, and that makes it worse. If you grew up and experienced it, it makes it worse. Because they want to change the picture of what it was, make it lovelier and better, and you're not remembering right and all that. No wonder people have problems. And it's hard for them to decipher what's what. What's abuse, what's not abuse. Oh, this must be okay because that's the way it was growing up. And oh, blarkey. Blarkey. This is the generation and going forth that really needs to untie all these knots of the past that made it a thing that was expected or okay or just happened and people were quiet about and people painted over. It's not okay. It's not okay. We need to do better. We need to help people. And when we see it in public, are we going to do this? Because we don't know them? Are they strangers? Or hope for the best for them? Because the guy's being abusive to the person? Or you see what I'm saying? What's our responsibility? What are we going to do? Just ignore it? And pray the person doesn't get, still on the planet the next day? Because we don't know them? Things for us to think about. We need to get better. Being aware, being helpful, being mindful. Am I preaching too much? Well, I just want to be a respite, a safe zone, and when I see it, I want to say something. Or at least call a cop. Right? And say, this is what I see going on. Not make it so gray that they have to pick it apart when they see the couple. Maybe that's what I would do. Make it more specific. Thoughts? Anybody got thoughts? If you see someone or know someone that you feel is experiencing domestic violence, how do you feel that you can better help them? This day and age, what can we better do to help them? How can we try to stop it or nip it in the bud without shoving it down their throat? Because we know how people are resistant. They don't want to listen to you. They don't want to believe you that that's what's happening, when deep in their core, maybe they know it is. Levon says it depends. Arsene said, I would give them a safe space to go to with no judgment. That is a beautiful, perfect start. I like that. Marie says, you can support them until they are ready to leave. And that's excellent. That's what my friend did. She supported me and would tell me I needed to get out. And when he would do things, oh, look, she'd tell me to write it down. She taught me how to get ready so when I went to court, I could get out of there. I would write the dates down and what had occurred or what would be said so I could get out of it. because he had put me in a position where things would happen and people wouldn't believe, or injuries would be where people couldn't see. Hello, Real in a Cam. Yes, absolutely, Real in a Can. That's what I was talking about earlier. Beginning a backup plan. Start saving money. Putting clothes somewhere. Start making a support system. Because they can be genius when they're trying to keep you isolated. A backup plan in place long before. Yes. Hallelujah. That's exactly what I was trying to say earlier. Yes, yes, yes. Because people that have not experienced it do not realize sometimes how clever they are and how terrifying it can get and how helpless you feel. And it does end up sometimes like movie of the week. That's the way I felt. And even if you, like my mom said, well, you stayed with us a couple of days. Yeah, I did. But I felt like I was in a dangerous situation. Because he had even said to me, if I can't have you, nobody's going to have you. And he had used the words kill before. I mean, when I finally left, I could not. I was terrified. I felt like he knew I was about to get out of there, and I could not move out of there fast enough because I kept feeling like any minute he was going to pull up there with a gun. I kid you not. So I was like in a sweat trying to get things out and get out before a car would pull up there. Nothing worse than in a crisis and you have no plan. 100%. I mean, my heart's beating fast right now. And it's been years. And my heart's going fast. Parents need to ensure adult kids leaving home have a backup plan. Yes. But sometimes adult kids, look, I did not want to go to my parents' home. And it really wasn't possible. We know more now. Yes, we do. Like I said, I lost my son, but my daughter will always, always, always have a place in my home. Always. Of course. Unless she's tweaked out or something, but she doesn't do drugs. Thank God. It is being left in a dangerous situation, yes. Like not having a safe place to live. Yeah, I highly recommend watching that movie, The Maid. It showed girls going in and out of a safe house and how crazy it can get. And thank you, Paranormal Witch. And how tricky, I mean, she had a baby, how tricky getting any kind of help can be, and the red tape, and how you can get one thing, but you can't get one thing because you don't have that thing, and it's just a hot mess. Real in the Cam, would you like to come up with me? Thank you for coming here on my channel. Yes, you're making a lot of great suggestions. Absolutely. And I was explaining to them too there. Hello, Marcella Booth Davis. I'm so happy that you are here. That there's not just physical. So many women do not understand that emotional abuse is abuse. I mean, even though my ex that I call Doofius could be physically abusive, he would do things like punch right beside my face into the wall like he was about to smash me in the face. It comes so close. He would go straight toward my face and then miss it and go right into the wall to scare me and intimidate me. Things like that. Just to keep me in check. Just to keep me in check. So even if the physical would slow down, he would do things like that to keep me in check, to keep my heart rate up, to keep my anxiety up, and stuff like that, just to show me that the potentiality of thank you, Reel in the Can. It was the second thing I made last year when I was teaching myself how to crochet. Yeah, I was trying to teach myself. But he would do things like that. And look, that's what I'm saying. I'm an adult. I'm educated. Anybody can get twisted up into it. And there's so many forms of it. Marcella says, yes, emotional abuse is worse because you start questioning your self-worth. So the abuser punishes you, then you punish yourself. Yes, because you think, man, what an idiot that I got myself into this. And then you get gaslit. And then you start blaming yourself. Then you question your reality. You question your worth. You become ashamed. You don't want anybody to know. You try to figure out your way out. Then you are trying to figure out is it safe, if you're going to end up out of it alive. I mean, it is such a twisted reality. And then they come off charming to other people. And then you're like, nobody's going to believe you that this is happening. And I started waiting until there were marks on me so I could tell this lady that was like my second mom. And I finally just confessed to her, this is what's happening to me. How do I don't know how to get out of here. And he would start trying to keep me away from them. He didn't want me near anyone. I mean, like I said, until I had my son, my little boy that I lost 4 years ago, it took him for me to turn into a beast. Because I was not going to have him raised in that house. I didn't care what it took. I was not going to have him in that house. Period. So I was like, hell to the no. This is done. You are out. And like some of you didn't hear, I called my grandfather from, God rest him, 2 hours away and had my doors replaced with steel doors and new locks. Told him we were getting a temporary separation. He thought it was temporary and we would get back together. So he was going off with all those bands and thought he was having fun and that we would get back together when the dust settled. No, we did not. I mean, I had to trick him into everything. I kid you not, I had to trick him into everything. I tricked him into a divorce. He thought he'd be able to remarry me. Freaking nightmare. Yes, you are correct. A lot of women in crisis feel they have no options. A lot of abusers are so charming and clever. That's what's so messed up. They can show one face to their employers, to their friends, to coworkers. and an entirely and sometimes they're charming to you and loving and caring, but then they can flip and show an entirely different face, almost an evil face to you. And I mean, I know that Doofius, my ex, sometimes his eyes would turn dark. I mean, literally dark, because the pupils would expand and turn the whole eye dark. And it was terrifying. Terrifying. And I did not know who this person was. And sometimes I would stay up all night until he went to work because I was afraid to go to sleep. Yeah. I haven't seen this person. Don't ever want to see him again. But he doesn't know where I live. I moved away. Did he have attachments? I don't know what that means. Maybe that's not for me. Yeah, I'm okay. My daughter just came in here to check on me, bless her heart. We invest so much in others and our families, we forget to invest in ourselves. That is true. You know, I was thinking about that earlier. I will go to hell and back often to help other people. I will. And I often forget to go to hell and back to help myself. Sometimes. Yes, I pulled that up again. Like I said, tonight, forgive my vision, even with my glasses tonight. Last couple of days, I have had MS kick my butt a little bit, and my vision is not so good. You will, I know over time, my lovely viewers in our community, that you could, somebody told me the other day, you will see when MS is hanging on my butt sometimes the difference. But it is what it is. That's the reason some people don't. Okay, I've already read that like 3 times, right? What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing comments. I love it when all of y'all come in here. Why don't more people? Somebody needs to tell me. I go to all these chats. People come up and talk. I go to my lives. People hardly ever come up and talk. Why is that? Somebody needs to tell me. Somebody needs to tell me. Why am I always the one talking by myself? I would like to know. Yes, you can ask a question, Rilla can. Please do. Please. Go ahead. Do creators use YouTube Premium? Is that the most expensive one? I think I used the one in the middle. I can't remember. I know I paid. Oh, Levon says, I catch your lives while I'm on my way home from work. I've had a couple of people say they only turn my lives on to hear me talk because of my voice. Yeah, I paid for YouTube and StreamYard and something else. Believe me, I pay for all of this. So I think on Saturdays I may throw up the thing that says, you can buy me a cup of coffee. I do drink coffee like a bad person. 2-3 cups a day, actually. Yeah, I pay for all of my stuff and Canva and something else because I have to make all the thumbnails and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm not monetized, so I pay for all of it. So I must care about it. Yeah, up and Adam, yeah, he liked my voice. Well, listen, Real and Cam, I am on Instagram under Dear Dana 3. You are more than welcome. Are you on Instagram, by the way? To link up with me there, and I will help you any way I can. Anybody that wants to start one, now, some of the stress you have to deal with on there is not the best, but anybody that wants to start one, I am more than happy to help you. Oh, that would be so cool, Arseny. I love Australia. I have no social media, but I can get it. I only have YouTube. But look, it's easy for me to chat with people on Instagram the most. I check in on Facebook. If we want to do a Facebook page, I would do it more frequently so we can talk. Until I get 500 subscribers, they're saying that they will give us a community page at 500 subscribers. I am so happy to have you here. Now listen, please like, subscribe, and share, because I forget to say that often. But I want to hear your thoughts. I have put resource links underneath this channel for people that need them. Oh, there's my baby girl. She's saying make a Discord. I keep trying with no success, Eden. That is my sweet girl, my daughter, Eden, by the way, that's in the chat. Mom, make a Discord. I'm trying. She says we need a Discord page. See, I'm not all that tech savvy. I've tried to. I didn't get in there. I know how to make a Discord. I just appreciate all of you. See, tonight I wanted to talk about Gabby. I want to know more about her, Gabby the person. We know she was artistic. We know that she was trying to do van life and have her channel. I watched the one little video that she was able to get out. I love her smile and all the little artistic videos she was trying to do. Eden, say hey to Shelly. Say hey to everyone on here. One night soon, hopefully we'll get Eden to do some tarot. I don't know how to do it. She just got made a key holder at her job. She works at GameStop, and she's a college student, but they've been working her a lot. She works at GameStop. And she's been my support because there's been other creators just stressing the butt out of me lately. And Eden, tell them, did we not have a creator stalking your friends and our whole entire family? We won't say who, but did we not? Yeah, Marie, me and Sheila's will want to meet up with you probably in some morning. See, she said, yes, we have. She had to go get her friends to block them because they were underage. Excuse me, I have to cough. Yeah, Lavon. And this person's been trying to flip the script on me and everything else. It's just stressful sometimes. And stress doesn't help MS. So that's what I'm saying. I want to help people, but I just need to protect myself from stress. Um, Anywho, I want to make this a very helpful community. I don't want it just to be about talk. I want it to be a very interactive, helpful community. See what Eden said, y'all? That's not for me. See, Sheila? Hey, Zenzarius! Can't believe I'm several days late. Yeah, sorry I didn't go on the, I meant to go on the YouTube school yesterday. I did not. I've been trying to better my channel. Oh, there's Real in a Can. Hello, Real in a Can. How are you?
Oh, hi.
Hi, I like your clouds.
Just a second. I'm going to turn this. I think I have to turn this part off. Wait.
Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have a camera on. You're very confident on the camera. I'm not sure about camming yet, but hence the little picture. But so I'm sorry I took you off topic because I know this is about abuse and stuff. But I do thank you for offering. I'll as soon as I get some things set up, I'll contact you again about Instagram and things like that. Maybe we can liaison. Um, so I don't. I've like I said, I'm not really much on social media, but I am kind of interested in it. Like interested in doing something like this. But so is there something specific on the topic that you'd like to talk about?
Your advice coming in reiterated a lot of what I said, and I'm very thankful for that. Thank you.
You said you had a daughter. How old is she? Mine is gosh, she's 36 now. So,
My daughter's 19.
oh, okay. The boy goes by fast, I'll tell you.
Too fast.
It
Yeah.
does. Yeah. And you know, I these are kind of the tough years right now with young people. Like that age between when they graduate from high school and they become 25 because their brains are still growing and everything. And I used to think, you know, that the bigger the problems are bigger, once they get that between that age between of high school and 25,
Yeah.
and they're more complicated. They're whereas you always felt like had your thumb on things and things would be you could figure it out, but their issues or their problems or their lives get more complicated as they get
Yeah.
older. And but just so you know, by the time they hit 25, everything kind of just smooths out and you realize, wow, everything you did paid off.
Yeah. Um, when I ended up marrying Doofius, I was
Hmm.
23.
Oh, right. Yeah, I got married young too, quite young. Well, I was 21, so but we're still married. So, but I still find the topic, obvious. Everybody needs a plan. That's the way I look at it. And it's not even just an abusive situation. There's so many other ways to be desperate, to
Yeah.
be in dire straits. And you really do need a plan. And it's, and then you with a daughter, like, make sure that before she leaves home, she always has a plan too. Of
Yeah.
course, you'd probably be part of that backup plan,
Oh,
of
heck
course.
yeah.
But I mean, I think, a lot of times, you know, I wonder if some kids aren't worried, or they don't want to, or they think it's going back, backwards, to ask for help or to say, hey, you know what? Things aren't going so well. I need you. And, but really, everybody at some time in their life is in a point of need. And so you got to make sure, and I mean, I know you know this anyways, that, when she goes out that door, she knows there's a backup plan. that
Yeah.
there's it's never the end of the world. There's a backup plan.
Yeah, she's on there clapping.
What's that?
she I think she just put clap hands on here.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been a little, like I said, lost my other child 4 years ago, and I think we've been a little too clingy with her.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
A lot. We lost our other child 4 years ago,
Oh no.
so I think we've been a little too clingy with her. So yeah, she knows she's got a place.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's
I
good.
I kid her the other day. I said, "Yep, once you're out of here, that's it, kid." And she said, "But Daddy said I always have a place to come." I was like, "You do."
Well, the thing is it's always that balancing act because you want them to leave the nest and fly.
Yeah,
But the thing is it's just like a little bird. Sometimes they fly and they dip and sometimes they even crash. You know, and it's just the way it is. And some are great flyers, and others are just a little wobbly, and so I'm the door has to be open. But
yeah,
mostly they don't want to come back unless they have to.
that's
They
true.
really don't. But there's nothing worse than a kid that's out there and, they're wobbling or maybe going to crash and they feel like they have no options.
Right.
That's scary. It's really scary, especially nowadays, because the world is so demanding and has so many expectations on people that and everything is done so publicly. You know what I mean? Like I really feel for young people today. There's a lot of pressure on them that we didn't necessarily have back then. Now I'm sure I'm a lot older than you, but I can see the pressures that they have that we didn't necessarily have. We could make our mistakes in private, and they can't. It's out there for the whole world to see. You know?
I, I completely agree with that. I mean, everybody's got a phone
I know.
for one
And
thing. That's
yeah,
scary.
right. And the the social media thing too. You know, you I guess maybe I felt like, young people, they could have a bad day and they wake up tomorrow and the sun's shining and get on with the next day. The problem is with social media though is sometimes issues for kids get dragged out. It's just
Yeah.
you know what I mean? A bad day doesn't stay a bad day. It may be a bad that bad day becomes a bad week.
I mean, and look,
So,
it's not just about domestic. Look at the abuse online.
oh, I know, it's terrible. It really is.
There's abuse
People
on
literally will
YouTube and
stalk
Instagram.
you, and
Yeah.
it's and they seem to get enjoyment from it. You know,
Yeah.
that's the
The
sad thing
trolls.
about it. Yeah.
When we first started tonight, somebody came on I didn't know, and they were ready to argue with me straight away.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, look, they were saying it's not a crime of passion.
Yeah. Well, what you don't think somebody was saying that what wasn't a crime of passion?
It's the
You mean the
fact that,
Gabby thing?
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it well, I mean, we don't know everything, but usually in a domestic situation, it is a crime of passion and it might not happen. Well, I don't know. Crime of passion is you get so upset and it probably never happen again. That's what they
yeah,
say about a crime of passion. But with abuse can be so repetitive,
yeah.
right?
But this particular one, but it was the way they were putting it. It was real aggressive. It was
Yeah,
more than just those words. They were just ready to go at it. You know what I mean? Like
right.
a heavy debate right out of the gate.
Yeah. Well,
Just
here's the only thing. One thing I know for sure is my son-in-law has a PhD in psychology, and he'll tell you there's nothing written in stone. They don't
yeah.
have all the answers.
See, I'm a psychotherapist.
Are
So
you? Okay,
yeah.
cool.
So I was like, why is this guy wanting to fight right straight out of the gate? She was like,
Right,
I want to hear
right.
what you have to say, but let's not argue about it.
I'm probably killing your room. I can't even see if there's anybody even in here. I've I just know this is only the second time I turned StreamYard on, and I
Oh,
somebody told me, okay, I'd have to go back and look at the other screen. Somebody told me that you had to turn off the YouTube so that you can hear on
oh, you're not
the
double.
StreamYard. Okay, so I hope I'm not killing your room.
Oh, no, 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 no. And I'm very happy that you're in here and you sound great. You should do
Uh,
your own channel.
oh, I'm a little bit nervous.
Oh, everybody gets nervous. Look, I was
Yeah.
I started teaching online and I had to
Okay.
see myself when I taught the kids.
Yeah.
I was scared to death.
Wow. Yeah.
So I only started doing YouTube probably 7 months ago.
Oh, okay.
So you start getting used to it after a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to try and see if I can see both rooms at the same time. No, I can't. I guess there's probably a way to do that. You know how the YouTube page is open? I can't
Yeah,
see it because I'm on the StreamYard page.
right.
So there's probably a way to do that, but I just haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No.
I think it
Probably,
buffers.
yeah, I don't, I mean, I never even signed into StreamYard or anything. I just know that you click on that link that you put in there.
Oh,
But I'm gonna let you go and I'm gonna sit back and listen and everything. I just wanted to see if it worked. I wanted to connect with you and
well,
everything.
you are
So,
welcomed up at any time. I appreciated all your comments.
well, thank you so much.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna sit back and listen now.
Okay, bye bye.
Okay, bye bye.
Well, would anybody else like to make a comment? I appreciate everybody being here. I just want people to be more aware there are different kinds of domestic violence. I want people to be more verbal and vocal when they are concerned or worried. You're not alone. You can reach out to people. I want you to make a plan. I want you to be more aware of the patterns of it when it occurs, to look for the patterns. There are patterns, um, bizarre behaviors, and ways that they try to control you. They just it is a pattern of things to try to control you as a human being, to try to take your power away, to try to it's an insecurity to try to keep you from leaving them. And it doesn't get better, it gets worse over time. It starts accumulating. So it's not something that you can um, make better. It's just not. So I would encourage you to always make a plan, to open up to someone, to open up to a friend, to find support. You're not crazy. Don't try to shame yourself. Um, I've dropped the link for anybody that wants to come up. I've got some of my favorite Aussies and UKs in here. I didn't mean to mute myself. That's a common thing I do. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hello? Here I am, talking to you straight from Atlanta, Georgia. And I asked Arseny, did he have an IG as well? I think you can hear me now. Can you, Zinzarius? I can lip read with no sound. I had to teach a whole class with a Chinese student with no sound. I sure did. Well, I dropped the link and nobody came up. So what's the dealio with that? Steve, you asked me to drop it. And I did. And nada. So here's the deal. I want Gabby to be known as a hero. I want her to stand for people everywhere that it's not too late to reach out. It's not too late to have a plan. It's not too late to be brave enough to know that you can use your voice to speak up. Don't protect your abuser. They need help to be a better person. You need help to live a full life. I'm glad I had my child, but if I had to do that life over again, I wish I had spoken up earlier. Oh, no worries, paranormal. So, in light of that, would anyone like to come up before I wrap up? Do any of you have any questions or thoughts before I wrap up? I dropped the link for you, Zen, and you did not come up. One last time. Hello, Zenzarius. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
That accent just kills me every time.
There you go. Oh,
What?
that's
What time is it there?
2:45
Are you exhausted?
a.m. No, I just woke up an hour ago. Couldn't get back to sleep.
So are you game playing tonight?
I'm sorting my YouTube out completely, so I'm reorganizing everything. And yes, I will be probably recording some more games tonight as well.
So do you
Got another one to upload.
So do you record your games on YouTube?
I record them on my computer first, then I upload them to YouTube.
So while you're here, he is very British, real and again. He is my British friend. Love a British accent, don't you?
Thank you very much.
Paranormal Witch said, no one told me Zenzarius is handsome. See, I told you you're handsome. He didn't want to believe me the other day.
I haven't even washed my hair yet, but yeah, I haven't groomed myself. I've just been a bit lazy.
Oh, hello, JC Bear. So
Hey, JC.
JC Bear reminds me of Winnie the Pooh when he talks. We got all these accents going on, huh?
Yeah, I love it.
So what do you think about the Southern accent?
You have a lovely voice.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm one of those that really like it, so yeah, I'm among them.
Thank you. God, what was I going to ask you? There was something I needed to ask you. Hold on, it just slipped my brain. It'll come back. It's driving me crazy now.
It's all right.
So you put your games on YouTube, and then when you play your games, and you sit there and you respond to them, right? Mm-hmm. And people watch you on Twitch respond to the games.
I can either stream on directly on YouTube or directly on Twitch, but usually I prefer YouTube if I'm streaming.
So why do you prefer YouTube?
It's just where my core audience is, really. I've literally got only about 1 or 2, maybe 3 followers on Twitch. whereas there's 600 odd on YouTube.
Have you heard about these other ones that people were telling me about? Odyssey and BitChute?
I've not heard of those ones, no.
They said that they work off of what are those coins called? Bitcoins?
Oh, Bitcoin. Oh, okay.
They
That'd
said
be nice.
they said they're new platforms. So I'm going to check them out.
Sounds interesting, but I'm not sure. Well, I'm pretty sure Bitcoin could be used almost anywhere, really, but
Well,
I'm not sure about that.
They said they're new platforms with no restrictions that you could download all your videos. Hey, Mark Crop.
Okay.
So I'm going to check it out. We'll see.
Only ones I know of: YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer.
Tell them where they can find you.
Just type in my name, find the big Z, and Zenzarius, not Zenzarius as Rob keeps calling it, but
I did that.
doesn't matter. No, it's okay. Everyone, when they first see me, they always say what is it? Zenzarius? Yeah, that was it, Zenzarius. And no, it's supposed to be pronounced Zenzarius, but
okay. So
I look at the spelling and I realize, oh yeah, I see how they did it.
So I'll say Zenzarius. Is that the right way?
Zenzarius, that's lovely. That's lovely. It doesn't bother me really. It just makes me laugh every time I hear some people try to pronounce my name. The funny thing is, when he first saw me, he actually pronounced my name correctly, just that once, and then after that, no, Zenzarius. Okay, whatever.
Zenzarius. How do you say it again?
Zenzarius.
Zenzarius.
That's how I pronounce it, but yeah, it's not exactly how it's spelt, really.
Zenzarius. That's the best I can do right now, Zenzarius.
That's okay. Or Zen. I just say, call me Zen.
Zen.
Zen, yeah. Easy enough.
Zen like sin. That's the way it comes out in a southern accent. Zen like sin. You got too many things going on. So, in the conversation about Gabby Petito and about domestic violence, have you ever known any friends that have had to deal with that?
Not really. I know it happens a lot, but I don't know if anyone actually personally has actually probably experienced that, which probably is fortunate, but unfortunate for those who do experience it. But if I did know about that, I would try my best to try and help the person who was in that situation.
So, do you think it goes on in the UK much?
Yes. I'm convinced it happens no matter where you are, really. Here, America, Australia, no matter where you are, that behaviour just happens everywhere, really. Maybe may happen more often in other places than some, but it still happens, which is still unacceptable, really.
So, did any of you hear about the case in the UK?
This is actually news to me. I'm not sure what exactly happened, really. So that's why I was nervous coming up here, because I wasn't sure what to say about it, because I've known almost zero about it.
She had opened a YouTube page, and she wanted to travel in her converted van.
Oh, okay.
Van life with her boyfriend.
Oh.
And they had been traveling across the United States. And at some point, apparently he strangled her. And he left her there, and he hitchhiked for a little bit, but then he took the van, drove it back home to his parents' house, supposedly didn't say anything to his parents, but I think he did, and went camping with his parents on 2 occasions. Okay, and came home with his parents, and then just took off. They found her body, and the coroner said just the other day that she died by strangulation, throttling, but he wouldn't give the rest of the details, that she'd been out there for 3 weeks and they found her, and they can't find him anywhere. they've spent close to probably $3 million looking for him all over the Everglades and Florida, and this trail that covers a few of the states in the United States. And it's like looking for Where's Waldo. They can't find him anywhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's extreme.
So
They just disappeared.
yeah, they did get him for using her credit card after the fact. They've charged him with that, like for $1,000 worth. And right now he is a person of interest.
Well, he's
Yeah.
just made himself extremely guilty.
Yeah. Because he took off from
Wow.
because he lawyered up immediately.
Wow. Okay.
So our whole country knows about it. And then parents are saying nothing. They
Well,
wouldn't
her
even,
parents or his parents, do you mean?
his parents, and
Oh, okay.
they wouldn't even contact her parents when it happened. They wouldn't answer because she lived with him and his parents for almost 2 years. They wouldn't contact her parents. They wouldn't answer texts, nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a hot mess here. Yeah.
Did you say the parents used it while the body was still there, or were they unaware? Or because I can't see how they'd use it without being aware that there was a body there.
They what?
Did you say that the parents used the van with their son while the body was there, or was that
No.
before?
He left the body where the last place that they had been about to camp.
Oh, so it was okay. I thought you meant he left it in the van or something.
No.
The body in the van. Oh, okay.
He left it at the site.
Oh, okay. Now
And
I'm with
then
you.
he took the van and went home.
Okay. Still no better. Still okay. No. Yeah.
I mean, I'll see if I can pull up a picture. I mean, it's awful, awful, awful. And they had known each other since high school.
Wow, that's sad.
So can you imagine?
Yeah, it's terrifying.
They were supposed to have gotten engaged. And I think she broke it off not long ago. She was 22 and he was, I think, 25, or 24.
It's both very young then. Wow.
Yeah. And cops had pulled him over like 2 days before because it was reported that some bystanders had seen him slap her a couple of times when they passed by. So anyway, the cops stopped him and separated him for the night, but looked at her as the aggressor. It's crazy.
She was slapped, but she's the aggressor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, can you see
That's
this?
a bit messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that, yes.
That's her and him.
Oh, I see. Oh, she's really pretty.
Yeah. But anyway, she had a YouTube channel and she was documenting van life and stuff. And he was reading some book called The Lullaby, and it was real dark. And he was like mimicking things that were in the book. Anyway, it's messed up.
I see.
Yeah, but anyway.
Real in the cancer. Oh, sorry, go on.
Everybody's obsessed.
I'm not surprised. That is quite an extreme thing to happen.
So it'll be in the books for, one of the most gruesome. We hope it's not going to be a cold case. I mean, we know. Yeah, well, they can't say for sure until they catch him.
Ah, I see. I see. You mean it could have been an initialization or something for him? That's even worse. That's.
So yeah.
Oh.
Anywho, that's what's happening here.
Just want to say something to Real in the county. Says the glamorization of van life and that, and now they feel about. I think the idea of the van life is better than actually experiencing it, because everyone likes to go out there and just be free and do whatever. But the reality of it is a lot more harder than the fantasy of it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's.
I mean, some families are doing it, but they're doing it in big RVs that actually have bathrooms and where you can actually sleep and stuff like that.
Plus, there's a whole group of them as well. So yeah.
Yeah, but they had a small van, a very small van, where I'm sure they were, getting their water in these places, and I'm not sure where they were using the bathroom. So I don't think I could do that. Could you?
I don't think it's safe for anyone to do that, really. But yeah, women are more susceptible. Yes, especially in the dark. When it gets dark in that, and you're wondering who else is driving by or not.
Or if there's a snake underneath you, or no.
Are there many snakes in the USA?
Snakes? Yeah.
All we get is little grass snakes.
That's it?
Pretty much, yeah. The only other snakes we have are in the zoo.
I mean, my dog went around the swimming pool and got bit by a copperhead a couple of years ago.
Ooh.
Yeah, we've got snakes all over the place. I wish we only had tiny little green snakes.
Yeah, it scared the hell out of me when its tail came off.
Gosh, I can't. Why do you only have little? I'm moving to UK.
It's relatively safe here, animal-wise.
That's not right.
That means our survival instincts are way down, though.
I mean, I have to look at my feet when I go to the mailbox if there's a snake when it's that time of year. Yeah. Especially in the South.
Wow.
Real in a can says, and alligators you have, Dana. Well, I'm in Georgia, so I don't really have alligators. Florida has alligators.
I heard they exist in the sewers as well.
Yeah, I've heard
I'm
that.
pretty sure that's a myth. I think that's just a myth.
I've heard of
Well,
snakes.
technically, they could survive in there, but I don't think so.
I've heard of snakes coming up through toilets.
Oh, that's possible. It's rats too. Rats can do that as well.
Have you had a rat in your toilet?
No, not me personally, no. But it is possible for a rat to do that. Because they can hold their breath for quite a long time.
Real in a can. Boy, this has gone way off topic. Real in a can said, that is Ninja Turtles. Well, on that note, at least people will leave feeling better than when they came in, because this is a gloomy subject.
Yeah, it's never an easy subject to talk about.
And I am the only one that shared my doom and gloom in this subject, apparently. I thought others would come in here and possibly share, but they did not. So, that is a sad, sad thing. But I'm very, very pleased that you woke up and came up in this channel.
I said I would, and I'm so sorry for missing you last Saturday, and I said I would join you, and today's to make up for it. So.
I got to see you. I got to hear you. Are you sore? Is your shoulder sore?
Yeah, I have shoulder problems. It's alright. I'm trying to flex them out a bit, stretch them out a bit, but it's alright.
We're going to be doing a quantum healing night. You need to come up.
Okay.
We're going to be doing it for one other person and stuff, and it really kind of helps. So, yeah, we're going to schedule it.
Oh, nice. Well, I'll be free. I'm actually spending a week in London next week, so yeah.
Let's plan on it then. We need to do it for you and Mary and somebody else, I think. I know.
Also, Paranoid Witch, hi.
Do you want now?
Sorry, Paranoid was just saying hi to me. I was just saying hi back. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
So do you want to do it?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
I'll be there.
Let's do it. It's a plan. How's the walking going?
Much better. I still can't run just yet, but I can walk much better now.
Oh, don't feel bad.
So,
I'm going with my daughter to a Harry Styles concert at the end of this month. And I realized that I need to take a cane to it
awesome.
because it's too much walking. And at some point, my legs go, nope. I can walk fine. I can walk fine. I can exercise fine. But it's just like with MS, at some point, they say, no more. So you need the extra support. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, don't you want to take your friend so I don't embarrass you?
Yeah, fair enough. When I started to walk, I had to use a little stroller with handles. But the thing is, I had a little a flat thing where I put my food and stuff. But I'd also use it to sit on. So whenever I go downtown and I needed it, I basically had a chair with me the whole time.
Is a rollator? Is that what it's called, rollator?
It could be, but that could be one name for it. But yeah, we just call it a stroller or something like that, or push along.
So does it fold up too?
It folds up, but not completely. It's bulky, I'd say, but I got rid of it now because I don't need it now. But it's much since I can walk much better now.
High five on that. I told you, didn't I?
Mm-hmm. Yep, yes, you did.
You didn't think it would happen, but I told you it would.
Yes.
I'm always right. No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You've always been right so far.
But anyway, on that note, while everybody's a little bit lifted up, we're not in that doom and gloom state. I guess I'm going to start wrapping this up. Plus, I need to eat something. But I'm so happy you came up. That made my spirits lift. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You truly, truly made me happy. I appreciate that.
I'm glad to hear that.
But anyway, I'm so appreciative all of you came on here and supported. We will send out good energy to everybody going through this kind of bad sort of way. Know that you're supported. I've dropped links below if anyone needs to reach out that are in this kind of situation. Please check out and use your discernment. Use your discernment if you're going through any of these situations. Use your gut instinct. Know you're not alone. And just prepare yourself and reach out to anyone that you know is there for you. I appreciate everyone. I'm sending everyone love. Thank you, Zinzarius. Thank you, Real in the Can, for coming here. Everyone, thank you. And remember that your vibe attracts your tribe. I will see everyone on Saturday night. Have a great rest of your week and take care. Here we go. If I can find it. There it is. Bye, everybody.